You're watching Marsha on VeroBuzzTV.com.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Buzz TV. I am indeed Marsha Littlejohn, and I am here with the one and only Larry Reisman. Larry, it is so good to have you here.
Well, it's good to see you again, Marsha. Nice to be back.
When you walked in, and I thought, oh, this is so much fun, because knowing that you have been in the world of news and reporting for so many years, but I said, let's go back a little bit, because so many times we want to learn a little bit about who it is that's writing all of those different things. Where did you grow up?
I was born in the Bronx and grew up in Westchester County, Irvington, New York, and went to school there, and went to school to be an accountant at Lehigh University.
Oh, you mean you're a numbers guy too?
I was a numbers guy, but I wasn't that good of a numbers guy that I ended up being in that business. It wasn't real exciting.
To be able to be a reporter and a numbers guy is just fantastic.
Not too many of us around.
I know.
So.
But how wonderful. You went to Lehigh University?
Yeah, up in Beth, Pennsylvania, and then you know, when I was in school there, I was going to be an accountant. Then my senior year, I switched all along just to have kind of fun.
I was your senior year, doesn't it?
No, I did that earlier too. Unfortunately, that's probably why I wasn't an accounting major. But earlier, you know, I wanted to play soccer. I couldn't make the soccer. Didn't make the soccer team, and one of my freshman hall mates said, "Well, why don't you come write about the soccer team for the school newspaper?" And so I joined the school newspaper, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun to cover sports, and I became the sports editor of the paper, and got to travel all over the country with our college, in wrestling, covering wrestling, football, basketball, and so what could be better than watching sports, getting paid to travel.
Sure.
Yeah, I went to some great places, not getting hit. I did that one spring. I played football I played baseball my freshman year, which was legitimate, and then my grades weren't very good, so I had to get out of that. But then sophomore year, I managed to persuade the football coach to let me play football in spring practice as a George Plimpton Paper Lion. He wrote this book, Paper Lion, about his experiences with the Detroit Lions. So my experiences were going to be with the Lehigh Engineers, so I wrote about that. And that was sophomore year. And then I just kept doing sports, and I wanted to be a sports writer. And I got out of school, worked for the Bethlehem Globe-Times, and which doesn't exist anymore
but still,
in Steeltown.
I mean, you really went big time there. But did you ever have any idea that you were going to change from maybe sports and accounting to being this top-notch reporter and writer?
I had no idea.
It just sort of fit in there with your sports and everything as well.
I really wanted to be a sports writer, but the first job that I was offered out of school was to be a news reporter, and the first story I covered was a square dance. And it was like kind of lame, and I thought it was kind of lame, but
you're going to hear about that one.
Yeah, I know, but it was just anyway. It was interesting. It just sort of evolved from there, and I got into covering police and stuff. So it was interesting.
As a reporter, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take about a 60-second break and come back, and I want to really talk to you about the media, how it is influencing our world. Where do the guidelines come from? A little bit more about you. Oh boy! So don't go away. We will be back with Larry Reisman of our Press Journal, right here in Indian River County. And if you're watching us all over the world, we're here in Florida, the good old USA.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
Freddie Wilfrick and Gregory Simpson invite you to Spotlight, Indian River, weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30.
Well, we are continuing right along with our own very, very distinguished guest from our Press Journal. What exactly title do we give you now at the Press Journal?
I'm the community editor at the Press Journal.
Community editor at the Press Journal, and that is with Scripps.
Well, Scripps doesn't own the company anymore,
right,
so it's owned by the Journal Media Group, which is, Scripps actually owns the bulk, about 60% of the Journal Media Group, but that's who owns our company now. Yeah.
Because maybe, is that why you now are in these beautiful new digs, so to speak?
No, if you go back, Scripps bought the paper from the Schumans back in 1996. and shortly thereafter, the idea was to consolidate the printing facilities. So this goes back almost 20 years now that we knew we were going to move out of that building. And then the hurricanes hit. We finally got the printing press up about the time of the hurricanes, 2004. And so it's taken a while to finally get out of there. The recession hit, so that's why we're in this new building.
Well, it really is great. When exactly, what year did you come to Bureau?
I came in '85.
In '85.
And I was a police reporter, was the big deal, and I was hired. The mission that really excited me was to compete with the Miami Herald and Phil Long.
Wow.
I didn't know, and Phil's just an
golly.
incredible journalist.
Sure.
I didn't know that when I came, but I got to know him, and he was just a great. And I got to compete against Elliot Jones, who worked with us, and a couple other. There was a lot of media in this town at that time. Daily newspapers.
All right, now you just led me right into this. You got to compete.
Yeah.
And maybe that was for your own job, your own position, and so on and so forth. But how much of that goes into the reporter's mind when they're trying to make a sensational story out of something that is really not sensational?
Yeah, well, back in the day, it wasn't about making it sensational. It was about getting the story first, getting accurately. Those were the things in competition.
But did accurately come before first, even?
No question. Yeah.
That's not the case anymore.
No, I don't. Yeah, you can say that. I have that perception too. I think especially online, it's become, get it up first. It doesn't matter if it's right. And my first real. I mean, I'd seen these experiences before. Competing with other people. I always kind of looked down on TV folks. Even though I had interned at a couple of TV stations, but they were really into the sensational stuff.
What it looks like and all that.
Yeah, and then I got here and things were okay. The biggest thing was on 9/11. The next 9/11, the misinformation. That CNN had.
To get it out in a hurry.
Yeah, and we're getting, they're reporting that the terrorists were here and that they trained here and they lived in this house, and we're sitting here and I'm sitting here as the editor of the Press-Journal saying, well, this isn't true. We can't verify any of this. And we're getting calls from people, hey, how come you're not reporting what CNN said? Well, because it's not true.
Yeah, you can't really put that in there because it's just kind of, you can't say the CNN is not telling the truth.
That's right.
You can't say it, but this is what I think is happening in our world today now. Of course, you compared TV, online, and of course radio and print. I always say, you got to be really careful when you're talking with somebody who has control of print, because all they have to do is get one more sheet of paper.
Well, I think the good thing about print is that, and the thing that I think makes us more credible than some of the other organizations out there is that once you put it in print, it's there forever. You can't change it. So you make a mistake. It's not like some of these bloggers. You make a mistake and it's no big deal.
Apologize or do go back. And I even edited something in Facebook the other night because it took me 1 minute because I knew my kids were going to be furious at me. So this is what we're doing. We're talking with Larry Reisman. He is community editor with our Press-Journal, and oh boy, is he great. Everything you read is fun, and I love your new position because I love what you're saying about our community. Stay with us. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
Since 1951, Globe Life and Accident Insurance Company has been providing families with life insurance protection. $1 covers the first month of coverage, whether you choose from $5,000 up to $100,000 of coverage. First day coverage means no waiting periods. Easy to buy, no medical exam, no risk 30-day money-back guarantee. Up to $150,000 of accidental death coverage can be added to your policy. Globe Life makes buying life insurance easy.
Stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics in downtown Vero Beach. Owner Patty Callahan prints it all, from color and black and white copies to blueprints, banners, signs, prints of paintings, and fine art. Patty makes restorations and creates outstanding graphic designs. Call Patty at 770-1521 or stop by Patty's Printing and Graphics at 2345 14th Avenue. Stop by for all of your printing needs at Patty's Printing and Graphics across from the old railroad station in downtown Vero Beach.
Oh boy, we are back, as I promised, in 60 seconds with our very distinguished guest, Larry Reisman. And of course, if you have ever picked up the Press-Journal, our local newspaper, you realize there is history there. And now you're getting it right now because of the write-ups that you do. And I love it. How do you describe, though, Larry Reisman, when someone says an opinion page? We used to say if it was an editorial, that was the opinion.
Right.
Now, a reporter can put his own ideas and own opinions into something.
Yeah, we don't do that a lot at the daily newspaper. We don't have our opinions in there too. I don't think we have it,
No.
hardly at all. I mean, I certainly do. We have columnists that do, and it's clearly labeled. We have our column sig in
That's
there.
what I mean. You
It's
label
clearly
it.
labeled analysis or opinion, and some newspapers don't do that online. They don't do that. But so we've really changed. We believe at our newspaper, we believe that the best content should be on the front page, and a lot of times the best content is that opinion content that we're working on.
Oh, now that's great, because that philosophy, I've often thought, there's one particular newspaper in our community that I always think they have this meeting together every morning because the facts are great and the stories are great, but then there's just that one little dig and that you think, oh, they had to work on that one. But I mean, this is what you see, but whatever happened to truth in advertising?
Truth in advertising, I don't know.
It used to be.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't know. I don't think it's that bad, but the advertising at least, but people.
Well, I guess what we're doing is we're talking about with FCC and the control and so much of that too. Is there an overall control of print that, for instance, we have with the FCC with radio, because your licenses, you have a license to be on the air. Of course, we're on the internet, so FCC does not control us, so I can say anything I want to.
That's right.
No, because I have two bosses here that will tell me what I can say or what I can't say. But when you think about control, how important is that in establishing your readership?
I think it's huge, and there's control, and we have bosses too, and to be honest, I've worked at an operation for 30 plus years that I've never been told what to say, never really been told what not to say.
Great.
There's no manipulation by, there used to be claims that, Scripps is telling you what to say. Well, it's baloney.
Yeah.
And people have their own, you know what it's like, and people are naive. They don't know all the facts, so they bring in their own opinions to things.
Larry, I wish we had hours to go on, but I have to ask you, where do you come up with your ideas? When do you make that decision as to what you're going to write about, who and whom and where and what?
It's a great question. It just sort of hits me sometimes. I try to write 3 columns a week. This week I've got 2. I was on vacation last week, so I'm a little behind.
You're up with your son at league.
That's right. But one thing I do is I try to have something hard hitting during the week. This week I'm not sure I'll get there. I've got an idea, but I don't think I'll go there on Sunday. I try to do something a little more hard hitting on Sunday. But a lot of people call me. I get out in the community. I meet people.
Sure.
I'm on social media. So just various
you pick
things.
up those ideas. Oh
Yeah.
boy, well I can tell you it is fabulous. Because when I heard you were going to be doing all of this and do the community reporting, I loved it. I think I even emailed you and said how much I enjoyed your column. So everybody remember, it's the Press Journal. It is our own Larry Reisman. We're going to twist his arm and get him back here. Yes, we are online, and it is TV, but it's still fun.
And we're blocked away from each other, so that's really nice.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, Larry Reisman.
Thanks, Marcia.
Hope you enjoyed this edition of Buzz TV. I am Marcia. We will be back. Stay with us.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare supplement team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
Marcia.
Hi, I'm Penny Chandler.
I'm Freddie Wolford.
I am Barbara Hoffman.
And I'm Gregory Simpson.
I'm here with Police Chief David Curry.
You're in good company on VeroBuzzTV.com, Vero Beach's local TV station on the internet.
I just love it.
Tell a friend.
We love y'all!
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Buzz TV. I'm Marcia Littlejohn, and we are continuing on with our show that really I get so excited because Holly Smith gets out there and she has all these wonderful guests that come in. I walk in and I get to talk with them, have no idea what we're going to talk about. Then I see Beth Mitchell, and oh boy, is that fun because I know it's got to be Sebastian.
Hello,
Good to
Marcia.
see you.
Good to see you too.
Now, as president of the Sebastian Area Chamber of Commerce, I have to say that when all over the world, and of course that's what's so wonderful about Buzz TV, I was in Portugal and watched this show.
There you go.
So now we can tell everybody all over the world about Sebastian. How long have you been affiliated with the Chamber?
I'm actually I celebrated my 15th year in May.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are the biggest changes that you have seen in Sebastian area in those 15 years?
Well, you know, we're growing. When I first came to Sebastian, population was about 12,500.
Oh my goodness.
So it has doubled. And that is a good thing.
Sure.
It's been very positive growth. I would say the development on the working waterfront has had the largest impact in our community.
We always think, I always have all my life, having of course been born and raised in Brevard, I've always thought of Sebastian as being on the waterfront. And then of course when you discover all the wonderful things that go out a little bit west as well, and right down on US 1, but then the waterfront you get over there, as I said to you, Captain Hiram's is just, you know, oh my gosh, I can remember doing a show there with Doug Moss all the time and having just all these wonderful historical things that 100 years ago, but I mean, just so many great things that are going on. But what is exciting now, because when I look down here too, construction activity. What are we constructing?
Sure. There's a lot of new activity in the area. I was kind of mentally reviewing it myself the other day. I drove by the Sebastian Methodist Church and they were getting a new roof. Which, you know, that's a good thing.
Just before the hurricane season, or in the middle of the hurricane season. Well, we're lucky this year so far. Knock on wood.
We have a fabulous new residential development that's moving earth called Sandcrest, which will have about 70 new residential units. There's a new assisted living facility that should be ready to open.
In Sebastian.
Yeah,
wow.
all of these amenities that our community really needs at this point.
Have we expanded the borders at all with Sebastian? Because I know every time it was the way up in Melbourne, it was O'Galley in Melbourne, and you'd have then Indialantic, and we'd all be in one big thing. What about Sebastian? Have they maybe extended anything, moved into?
Well, I think what you're talking about is annexation.
Yeah,
there really hasn't been that much activity on that end since the early 2000s, I think.
Because you have Vero, and you have Sebastian, but then when you go a little bit north, I think of Valkyria, Grant, you know, all these other different little places, because I grew up thinking Sebastian was part of Brevard.
Yeah, and a lot of people do. Yeah, we're so close to the county line that there's a lot of overlap, but there is some positive growth moving up along US 1, and then of course between Sebastian and Fellsmere, all of that is starting to fill in. So it's
because Fellsmere, of course, now with the shrimp.
Yeah,
oh my golly!
Right.
Who would have thought they'd have shrimp growing out there when they're not right on the water?
That's right.
It is really wonderful. We're going to take a little break and come back in 60 seconds with my guest, Beth Mitchell. She is president of the Chamber of Commerce of Sebastian. That's the Sebastian area. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about some restaurants as well coming up. And what is it now? Pelican Porch Visitor Center. I love that phrase. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Since 1951, Globe Life and Accident Insurance Company has been providing families with life insurance protection. $1 covers the first month of coverage, whether you choose from $5,000 up to $100,000 of coverage. First day coverage means no waiting periods, easy to buy, no medical exam, no risk 30-day money-back guarantee. Up to $150,000 of accidental death coverage can be added to your policy. Globe Life makes buying life insurance easy.
The Furniture Man is a locally owned business that has served the needs of the community of Vero Beach and Indian River County for over 30 years. Here at the Furniture Man, we offer fine pieces to furnish each and every room of your home. Specializing in Floridian style, come browse our selection of bedroom, dining room, patio, and living room. Come explore over 10,000 square feet of showroom where you can find mattresses, recliners, sofas, dining, and more. Visit us at 673 US 1 in Vero Beach, Monday through Saturday for all of your furniture needs.
Well, thanks for staying with us. We are back, of course, on Buzz TV, and I'm Marcia Littlejohn, and I'm here with Beth Mitchell. We're continuing our discussion about Sebastian and the Sebastian area, having you as president of the Sebastian Area Chamber of Commerce, seeing so much growth. But I also see this, and I love it, Pelican Porch Visitors Center. What is that?
If you're familiar with where our location is, the Chamber building, which is actually a historical building that the Chamber now has a lease with the city for, We are doing major renovations and building a porch on the east side of the building, which actually overlooks Indian River Lagoon.
Oh, yes, with Mr. Krogel.
Yeah.
Is it Krogel? Am I pronouncing that right?
It's Kragel.
Kragel.
Yeah.
Pointing out to Pelican Island.
Yeah. Well, he's a little further south than our location. But our vision is to create a front door to the community for the visitors that are coming in. Yeah.
So when you think, and when you mentioned visitors, and Beth, when you have people inquiring about Sebastian, what are they asking for? What are they looking for? And what do you think is the one thing that really gets them there to Sebastian?
Oh, I think it's our natural resources.
Oh, sure.
I think that when people come to Sebastian, they all of a sudden discover the real Florida as compared to South Florida or Orlando and the amusements in Orlando.
The real Florida.
The real Florida.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And on the waterways, when you see our lagoon, how has that influenced, though, this difficulty that we have with our lagoon, as far as the chamber is concerned?
Yeah, I'm very optimistic about the lagoon, quite frankly. In our area particularly, we are so close to the Sebastian Inlet that there's a very positive impact with the flushing of the inlet. And while who really knows what happened a couple of years ago, there are a number of signs that the lagoon is coming back.
Oh, that's so terrific. I heard that from, I think, someone with the Pelican Island organization, too, talking about that really there's so much good that is coming out of really just being aware of
and
what's
that part,
happening.
too. You know, it's good to see people dedicating resources and starting to figure out the puzzle and what it takes to solve the problems.
And also to be a little safe, a little cautious, and of course there's a tragedy of seeing individuals that were hurt in the water because of, and the lagoon. There's so much more that goes in with that, but that's still, that Indian River Lagoon is what makes our whole world so absolutely wonderful. And then, of course, just you've got the Atlantic Ocean right over there, too. So how can you get any better than that, except maybe tasting some of the different restaurants and discovering all of that? Because, first of all, let me go back, though, to your Pelican Porch. When is that going to be completed?
We're hoping for a grand opening in January. And we will have a lot of new amenities, some state-of-the-art media equipment, and ways to educate the visitor about what is happening in our area. So we're very excited.
Terrific. Wonderful. Boy, and if you have not discovered Sebastian, wherever you are in this world, watching Buzz TV, you need to find out a little bit more about Sebastian. Did we find out, someday I want you to come back and talk about where the name came from.
Sebastian? Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Was it a Mister?
It, actually, it was the same.
Okay. Going to talk about that. That'll be inquisitive. Oh, wow. Well, we will be back in just a moment. Don't go away when we wrap up our show with Beth Mitchell, who is with our area Chamber of Commerce, of course, of Sebastian. We'll be right back.
Watch Chamber Buzz at 6 and 10 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays on VeroBuzzTV.com.
Now that health reform is law, you cannot be denied health insurance coverage, but you can pay too much.
As a single mom, I was convinced that we could not afford health insurance until I spoke to the people from ICANN, who told me that I qualified for a special enrollment and a subsidized rate. Now I get so much more for so much less.
Call now and get the ICANN mobile app free. So don't wait another minute. Call ICANN, get covered, save money.
Marsha.
Hi, I'm Penny Chandler.
I'm Freddie Wolford.
I am Barbara Hoffman.
And I'm Gregory Simpson.
I'm here with Police Chief David Curry.
You're in good company on VeroBuzzTV.com, Vero Beach's local TV station on the internet.
I just love it.
Tell a friend.
We love y'all!
And welcome back to our final segment here with our own Beth Mitchell, who is with our, as I've mentioned so frequently, the Sebastian Area Chamber of Commerce. And you've seen the growth, you've seen the inquisitiveness, you've seen some of the changes too, but there is nothing like having a sampling of some of all of the restaurants in Indian River County. That's so cool.
We are so excited. We were asked to participate this year. When I say we, the Chamber and the Sebastian restaurants. So the Restaurant Week, which is October 5th, is now expanding throughout Indian River County. And I have 18 restaurants that we've asked to to participate.
Oh, wonderful.
So the folks that get out that week to visit the restaurants will have the opportunity to go to places like Mo Bay Grill, Portside Pub, Squid Lips.
Oh, Squid Lips, I love it.
Yeah, Mulligan's
Yes.
and Captain Hiram's and all of those places. We have, some people are surprised at the variety that we have in Sebastian.
I would just, when you named all of those, absolutely. There's one little area that we go up, Pelican something, that we love to, Pelican Diner?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we go up there on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
We also have, it's kind of nice to have a choice of the ethnic foods, too. So we have a Cuban restaurant, we have several Thai restaurants that people can check out, and then we have some good old-fashioned country Florida, diner type meals to share as well.
That would be, let's see, some chicken and barbecue.
Country fried steak, and go out to Marsh Landing and do.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. Oh. Well, this is what happens in Sebastian, and of course when you get to have all of that. When is that happening now?
October 1st. Oh, I'm sorry, October 5th.
October the 5th, and it goes on for a week, does it not? So we can go all over Indian River County.
Yes.
Now, if there was one thing, and I say this to everybody who has anything to do with our beautiful world here in Indian River County, if there's one thing that we are lacking in Sebastian, I know you're going to say, nothing, we have everything. Is there anything that you need?
No.
No. Well, somebody, I know that when we talked to in Vera, it was hotels. We need more rooms.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. There's always things where we can fill in, and hotel rooms are at a premium. There's no doubt about that. Over the last 2 years, our hoteliers have really enjoyed a great tourism season. But we don't like to send people outside of the area, and when they're all booked up, it's kind of hard. So there are some smart people out there looking to make that investment. I know Captain Hiram's is expanding. They're building 16 new rooms. I know there are opportunities out at the I-95 interchange for a new facility. So, yeah.
Well, it's Sebastian, Florida that we're talking about, and of course that is, you go back into history. We're going to get you back, and we're going to talk about where the name came from. We'll talk about all the different things that go on in Sebastian, and it truly is real Florida. Not necessarily old Florida, but real Florida.
That's exactly.
Because you can really get a touch of everything. When you've got the water there, you've got, of course, Captain Hiram's, such fun, and great places like that too. And I can tell you, when you go through Sebastian, watch your speed limit. You hear that?
There's a reason for that.
Absolutely. Oh, yes.
We want people to slow down.
And look at everything.
That's right.
Absolutely. Well, it is. It's a beautiful, beautiful community. Thanks so very much, Beth Mitchell.
Thanks for
being
inviting
with
me,
us.
Marcia.
And we hope you enjoyed this edition of Buzz TV. I'm Marcia Littlejohn.
Freddie Wilfrick and Gregory Simpson invite you to Spotlight, Indian River, weeknights at 6:30 and 10:30.
Attention! This important message is for any American who is about to turn 65 years of age or older. Nation's Helpline has Medicare supplement insurance news that may benefit you, your family, or someone you know. Most Americans who are about to turn 65 years old know they need Medicare supplement insurance, even if they already have Medicare. The Nation's Helpline Medicare Supplement Team can guide you and help answer your Medicare questions. Call today.
Please call 800-632-2804.
Advertise your business on Buzz TV. Email buzztvnetwork@gmail.com or call 772-777-1382.